Hello and welcome to this new lecture series. This one's on securing the Republic, and we're going to begin by talking about realism and idealism in foreign policy. Now, when you look at foreign policy in general, historically, we've always either implemented some form of idealism or realism when we are approaching it. For example, here's an example of realistic approach. A realistic approach to foreign policy is any policy used to advance and maintain the vital interests of the nation. In other words, this is things like defensible frontiers or foreign trade, right? Things that are tangible. That's usually a good guideline, okay? But there's also an idealistic approach. These are typically a use of foreign policy used to achieve a philosophical or moral objective for all, not just the nation, right? And this can be things like freedom, it can be justice, it can be self-government, right? And the biggest problem with this that you'll find is that you'll find that pretty much with any political party, you're going to have, or political policy rather, you're going to have a mixture. You know, some of it's going to be in there. Here's an example I often like to use with students. I talk about, let's say, for example, Trump's wall. Is it realistic or idealistic? And you'll get a lot of students right away will say, oh, that's idealistic, right? The wall is not. The wall itself is a physical barrier, right? It's a defensible frontier. Building the wall creates a barrier. The idea that it will solve the immigration issues, the idea that it will alleviate the push-pull aspects of human society that causes people to want to come into this country either legally or illegally. It doesn't do anything for that. That's idealistic. See, so there's a little bit of both in that single policy. So every time when you're looking at different political parties or different political policies rather, you need to take a look and just kind of ask yourself, is this a realistic or an idealistic? Or what about this is realistic and what about this is idealistic?